Hi everybody, it's Tatiana. Yes, we are doing an October wrap-up in my car. Hopefully I can stay focused. I am in a parking lot at my home church. In between services. So I wanted to get this done because I knew if I waited until I got home, I was not going to have the energy to get it done, and I'm hyped right now, so perfect timing. In the month of October, I read 3 books and started a 4th. The 4th book that I started but have not yet finished is The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. That is part of the read-along that's being spearheaded by Didi at Brown Girl Reading. And so that doesn't end until the end of November. So I will be finishing that this month. But of the 3 books that I completed, the first was The Rage of Dragons by Evan Winter. I have done a review of that if you would like to check it out. If you haven't seen it, it's 2 videos back from the point that this is being uploaded. Basically, I was not a fan. I don't regret reading it. I think it's a good first story, but I'm not a fan. The second book that I finished was a short story collection called Friday Black, which I will insert a picture of want to hear one of these sides because I don't have it with me. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce the author's name because Lord knows I couldn't pronounce it when I had it in my face. Now that I don't have it, we fresh out. But that short story collection was great. I didn't expect each story to be enjoyable. There are, I want to say 6 or 7 stories in there, and of the stories that are in there, there are 2 that are definitely linked, and then 2 that to me feel like a yin and yang off of each other. I did not expect every story to hit home, but every story hit home. And then what was even freakier is that one of the stories, one of the main character in the story, if put in that kind of situation, could possibly have been me. That was unnerving for the type of story that it was. And that's all that I'm going to say about that. But I finished that story and literally had an oh shit with myself moment. Very unnerving, but very good. If you have not read that short story collection, I cannot recommend it highly enough. The third book that I read was The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield, which I also greatly enjoyed. And what that story is about is an author or aspiring writer slash bookshop worker who gets contacted to do a biography for a famous author, the story of her life, and what the bookshop worker, Margaret is her name, has to deal with her own doubts and wondering whether or not she is the right person to do this great work, because this author is very well known, very well loved, and so she's concerned about her ability to relay the information that she is given in a way that the author's fans will appreciate. And then also in getting the story of Miss Winter, who is the author, Margaret is dealing with a lot of personal things herself, and it helps her do some working through of those issues that she has within herself. There are so many facets to this story, and it's very atmospheric. It's not scary. I thought that it was going to be a little scary, but it's not. But it's exceptionally atmospheric. When you get the description of Miss Winter's property, it's got like a Dracula feel to it, with Dracula's mansion. And when they're talking about how to get to places, that's the feeling that it gave me, which I appreciated. And there's so much in the story that is enjoyable. There's so much in the story that feeds the story. I will say I read this on my Kindle, and one of the things that I like to do when reading the story when I get new information is having the ability to flip back. And you can do that on your Kindle, but it takes a lot more work to, number one, remember where you flipped from, and then get back to where you're trying to go to. And for this book, the way I like to read books, I think it suffered a little bit, or my reading experience suffered a little bit from having it in digital form and not being able to flip back to get the information, not being able to easily flip back to get the information that I was looking for that just was brought forth as you're going through the story. What I put in my journal as I was reading this was that reading this story was like having a piece of paper with a well done essay written that you're reading, that you've read, and then all of a sudden spontaneously the essay burns, and then the essay regenerates itself, and when that piece of paper reforms, there's more to the essay that you did not see before the burning. It's revealed through the burning of the essay, and it just makes this, it just like develops the story and makes the story so much more. That's pretty much what reading the 13th Tale was like. And I'm so glad that I read it, because I have created a rule for myself where I am not to purchase multiple books by an author where I have a book by that author as a first time read, and I haven't read that book that I have by them yet. And Diane Setterfield is one of those authors that I violated that rule for, because I found, what is it, Once Upon a River at Ollie's for a ridiculously low price. And so when I found that, I said, okay, now I've got to read the 13th Tale. So, because that fixes my violation of the rule. So I'm so glad that I read the 13th Tale. I will be reading Once Upon a River soon. It may not happen by the end of this year. We'll see. Because I pretty much have, if you saw my Friday Reads video, which is the last video that I uploaded, I've got a long list of things to read that I checked out from the library, on top of the stuff that I want to read that I own. So we'll see what happens, but that is what I read for the month of October. Thank you all for watching. This is my second time recording this video, because the first time I was all over the place. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope you have a good weekend whenever you see this video. Peace out.